I once had a mentor in seminary take me through a thought experiment. And it goes like this, that imagine you have a best friend who's married or who has a significant other, and they come to you and they say that I need to talk to you, I need to confess something to you. And they tell you that they've been really disrespectful to their wife or their husband, and they've been terrible to their kids. They've not been a good father, not a good mother as they're supposed to be. And they feel bad about it, and they're just feeling really down about that, and they just wanted to tell you about it so that you could maybe just be there for them in their hurt, because they're really hurting themselves. But then imagine that your response is just to berate them, to tell them how stupid you are. How could you make that kind of mistake? You know what your duty is. You know you're supposed to be a good father. You know you're supposed to be a good mother, a good husband, a good wife, and that you just really hit them over the head with it. And then imagine that this isn't really your best friend, that this is rather yourself. You are talking to yourself in this way. And it's a good thought experiment, because when we really look at our lives and the ways that we talk to ourselves in our heads, it can be a lot of times just in that really harsh, negative way. Or we say, oh, you're worthless. How could you do this again? How could you sin in whatever way? How could you be so stupid? That's how we speak to ourselves a lot of times in our own heads. And it's such a debilitating thing. We start to tell ourselves that we are worthless. But that is not how God sees us at all. God sees us as worth so much more than that, and beloved in his eyes. Jesus says to his disciples today that they are worth more than a few sparrows. That's what he says at the end of the gospel, saying that nothing escapes God's eyes. He says those sparrows don't escape God's eyes, and of course, neither do you. You're worth so much more than that. That God loves you so immensely, so deeply. And even in spite of our sins, he asks us to bring those to him so that he can forgive them and help us to move forward. Today, let's ask the Lord for that grace, to see ourselves as he sees us, as beloved sons and daughters, so that we might not speak to ourselves with such harsh words, but that we might come to see ourselves as Jesus sees us, as brothers and sisters, and as the Father sees us, as beloved children.